Hey, Journey, Pastor John here, Pastor Dustin joining me again. We are here with some breaking news. If we could see a crawler at the bottom of the screen here, breaking news, like you see so often. A lot of times when you see that, it's bad news. This is good news.
It's good news.
At least we think it's good news. As you know, we're still managing, negotiating, navigating the uncharted waters of COVID-19, and there's changes that go along with this. We heard this past weekend from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis about lifting some of the capacity restrictions in businesses, and we want to talk a little bit about what that means for the Journey campuses.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people wondering, well, what impact would that have here?
Absolutely.
It's a fair question.
It absolutely is. So let's go kind of back up before we kind of break the news. When we came back, we thought it was the wisest thing to do to come back with a smaller crowd of people. And so we used the ticketing. We'd heard the ticketing work well at a couple other local churches. And I think that was the right move to make. Just want to say a huge thanks to our connections team, J.D. Egger, our IT director, Pastor Jeremy Tomlinson, Cassie A. Conley, Tiana, communications.
It was a big deal to do all that.
It was a big deal. We had a big team effort that went into that. And we saw, got a sense of how many people would be coming back over the past 3 weekends. Ironically, when we didn't do tickets back in May and June, it's kind of the same number. So we kind of got a sense of how many people are coming out, are feeling comfortable, feeling safe to come out into a gathering like this to worship in the midst of a pandemic. And it's around 250, 260 is kind of where we've been. But let's take the Apopka. We're sitting in the Apopka Worship Center. This room seats 840 people. I mean, this is a big room.
It's a big room.
It's a big room. My sense is if we didn't use tickets and if we don't block off every other row, we could see 300 to maybe 400 at the max, but I don't know that we're going to see much beyond that. But I do think it gives us the opportunity to utilize more of the room and to utilize the seats that we have. So our big news is we're not going to be using a ticketing system anymore. We did that for 3 weeks. We learned a lot. We're not going to be doing that. So that's the breaking news.
And kudos to Journey.
Amen.
They adapted really well.
Yep.
Because that was different, but y'all adapted really well.
Yeah, so you won't need to go online to reserve a seat to get a ticket. Some of you say, well, I already reserved a seat for this week. I already got my ticket for this week. Show up and we'll see if anybody sits in there. Hopefully nobody will.
We'll give you a refund.
There you go. It's a refund, exactly. However, we want to say this. We still want to practice safe social distancing protocol. This is a fluid situation. We're hopefully moving back toward engaging more in in-person environments, which we all have enjoyed. Those of us that have been able to get out, we know that many people still need to stay in, and that's fine. We get that. We respect that. And if there's underlying health issues, we encourage that, actually. Yeah. So that's why we really invest in our online ministry. But we want to be able to utilize our facilities more, both at Apopka and Lake County. So let's talk a little bit about both of those environments as well. Orange County still has a mask mandate, and we're going to follow that at our Apopka campus. We're still going to require mask or face coverings when you come to the Apopka campus for worship. Lake County does not have a mask mandate or a face covering mandate. They have a recommendation, and that's what we're going to do at our Lake County. We still recommend our Lake County worshipers that show up there to wear a face covering, but we're not requiring that at our Lake County campus.
So Lake County, we're recommending it. Here, you need to have it.
Yeah.
Online.
Yeah.
We'll let you choose.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want online.
I see people in their cars by themselves wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you got to protect themselves from themselves. So, if you
have to do that all the time.
Do you do that? If you need to wear a mask online, that's up to you. We'll let you do that. But seriously, we're not making a little bit light of that, but we do take it seriously because, folks, there's still a pandemic. This is not over. We have heard several people in our church thinking of a healthcare giver who was seriously ill and hospitalized over the past couple of weeks with this. And so this is not over.
No, and I think the important thing for all of us to remember is we keep hearing and using the word phase. We're not permanently in anything.
Right, exactly.
And so even what we're doing right now will just be a phase, and then we'll do another one of these and say, hey, we're now moving out of that phase. Here's the new next. And
Yeah.
so everything's a phase, and we're moving forward, and we're getting there. But even with what we're saying now, we still want to practice real good social distancing.
So what would that mean, Pastor Dustin? Somebody comes in, seats are available. What would you suggest?
Well, one of the things is when you get your seat, maybe you have a family of 5. I don't sing that well, so people don't sit next to me when I sing. But one of the things, if you're sitting here, one of the things I wouldn't want to do if you got your family here is I wouldn't want to sit right behind you and start singing right over your shoulder and make you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's one of the things we would just want to just be a little bit mindful of where we're sitting, how we're sitting, making sure people feel comfortable and safe as they worship, as they come to church. And so we're trusting you to give yourself social distancing guidelines when you come in and grab a seat.
Yeah, and we'll have ushers in the room at Apopka and Lake County just to help you find maybe where the hole is in a section where you can get in there. But please do respect the people around you. Don't crowd. There's no reason to crowd. I mean, this is a big room. When Lake County gets back to 2 services on October 11th, they'll have plenty of room as well. So, just be respectful of that. It's love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I think the safest way to get back to gatherings, as we've said all along, is wear a face covering. I think that's the safest way to engage in public. I think we still need to continue to do that. But in terms of being able to make room for people to come to worship, particularly at our Apopka campus, we have a large room, and I think we can do that safely without ticketing and without roping off every other row.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the news that we wanted to share with you as early as we can in the week. We hope that encourages you to join us this Sunday at Apopka or in Lake County. We hope it encourages you to invite someone because what we're doing is not just for us. Yeah. We're doing this to reach other people, right?
Absolutely.
And we want to have an inviting culture, and so we want you to feel free to invite. We know the ticketing system was a little cumbersome when you wanted to invite people. Even though it worked, we still had some guests that joined us. But starting this week, that's what we want to do. We want to invite you to join us. You don't need a ticket. 9:30, 11:15 at Apopka. Face coverings, we still require that at Apopka, Lake County. We recommend that you do that, 9:30. And October 11th will be 9:30, 11:15 at our Lake County campus. So thanks for taking a few moments to hear our breaking news from Journey Christian. And as we say, as Pastor Dustin well said, we're just trying to manage the news and the latest developments and respond in a loving and in a wise way.
Absolutely. Amen. We'll see you this weekend.